What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another show. And yeah, I've been taking a few days off, man, with the holidays, relaxing and everything like that, trying to prepare for the new year and everything that it's got coming for me. I hope it's good. But today I wanted to talk about, I was reading the news earlier where Mississippi, since December 29th, Mississippi prisons, 5 inmates had died. There's apparently a gang war going on over there right now in the prison system between the Black Gangster Disciples and the Vice Lords. And man, that's crazy. And the reason why, 2 inmates escaped from one of those prisons where three inmates died at the prison they escaped from. And one of them has been caught, the other one hasn't. Supposedly it's not even a heavily guarded. They're even dying at county jails though, in Mississippi, supposedly, like just over the course of a long time with the war that's going on. Man, and it just makes me, it said they can't hire prison guards because they don't want to start at below $25,000 a year. I wouldn't either. Why would they come work for you? That's a low starting pay to be watching over some violent inmates like that. I mean, you might die and you're gonna pay me less than $25,000 a year. That's crazy. But it made me think, guards are a big thing over here in Alabama prison too, like where they haven't been staffed very well. They can't get people to work. I mean, and then a lot of the ones that do work end up going to jail for bringing in contraband or whatever. But I know Alabama came up with this supposedly way to win, and they think it's a smart idea. And it makes me wonder, the people that are making these laws and rules in Alabama can't be too smart. I mean, they can't be the smartest people. Their plan in Alabama is to build. They're going to get rid of all the prisons, right? Or not all of them. I think they're going to leave maybe some work camps here and there. They're going to get rid, though, of all the big main prisons and build 3 gigantic prisons just across the state. 3. This is their plan. I want to say it passed and it's got to go, to the final step before it can pass to be actually done. And this was last year sometime, I think, when they passed. I don't know when it's coming up again. Maybe, I'm sure this year. But that's just a dumb idea. Anybody who's been to prison knows if you do that, you got to house the violence inside the Alabama prisons are going to skyrocket. 3 big prisons to put everybody in, violent, non-violent, just everything like that is insane to me. Like, you're gonna put the deaths are gonna happen, the drug, just everything is gonna go on. And then just say, for example, like, there's no if you did somebody wrong on the street and you go to prison and he's got friends in prison, even now with as many prisons as it is, you can get touched inside those prisons. It don't matter if you're at the camp with the dude, if you're not at the camp with the dude you hate or don't like or whatever, you screwed over. Most of the time, if they've been in prison a long time, they can get on a cell phone, probably got a cell phone, and call, over to that prison and tell whoever it is, hey, this guy did this, handle it for me. And it's probably gonna get handled. And it's crazy to me that, like, mind blown that they think, oh man, like, can you just picture them now sitting over there and they're around the little meeting table? That's the great idea. That's the best idea I've ever heard, man. Like, Jesus Christ, what is wrong with you? Like, that's the worst idea. The best idea is to release the non-violent people. Release them and take them, just let them out. I'm gonna tell you, my first time going to prison, it was for one pill. First felony ever. I was 20 years old when I got the felony. I went to prison though when I was 23 my first time, because yeah, they did give me chances. Now don't get me wrong, I was on drug court and all that stuff, and I was they sent me to rehab a couple times. I ran one time for about 10 months, and then I turned myself in because I knew how they work down there. If you turn yourself in, you ain't got to do as long as the time in jail. You might have to do like 3 months in jail, but if you turn yourself in, you got to do a month. I even called my caseworker like the week before I turned myself in. She ain't heard from me the whole 10 months. I called her and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about turning myself in. She's like, okay, good. She told me if you turn yourself in, you'll do 28 days, a month, around there. And I don't trust many of these people when they tell me stuff, because like most of the time, yeah, they just want to get you in the door. They don't, they ain't studying, really helping you out like that. So so I called her. She said, I'll do that. I turned myself in. Sure enough, 28 days later, I was walking out of that jail. I was reinstated. I was back on drug court. Okay, I did about 6 months, probably longer than that, about 9, 10 months really. I started messing up again, so they decided to send me to rehab. Now, mind you, the first time I turned myself in, when I went to court and they released me, the judge told me, if you run again, they call it running when you just don't show up to court. Drug court over here, you got to go to court every single Friday, and you gotta take a drug test 3, sometimes 4 times a week. Like, it's crazy over here, like if you don't have a car or nothing, you're just screwed, really. I mean, or a job or whatever, because you got to pay them a bunch of money too. So they told me, I'm sentencing you to prison. I had a 3-split-1 was my suspended sentence on drug court. That's for people who don't know, which I'm sure most people watching this do know. 3-split-1s where whenever they give you the split, that's where you gotta serve that year. You're not getting out early. There's no chance of it. You got a set EOS date, and when you get out, you got probation, and the sentence you back up is the rest of the 3 on the 3-split-1. You got to back that up if you mess up the probation. So I mean, that's what they hit me with. I didn't know any better. I wouldn't take a split now. But I will say, the good thing about a split though is that if you're in a prison and you start acting up and getting in trouble, it takes you don't get no good time taken, or for most of the time they would have to write the judge and all this stuff to get them to take some time away from you, and I've never seen them do it. I'm sure they have somewhere down the line, I don't know, but yeah, so yeah, they sent me to, so I ran the second time from rehab, and they caught me and they sent me to prison. It was 1 pill, first felony, a Loratab's what I had, a pain pill, and sent me to down there, and it was, everybody in the county too is talking about, oh man, when you get to Kilby, man, they're gonna kick you straight out the back door. You ain't even gonna have to do no time with that sentence. Listen, I've only been to prison 2 times, but I've been locked in county and city jails just, I don't know, 20 to 30 times, no joke. Some of them, mostly, I have 4 felonies, so all the rest of them was misdemeanors, but some of those misdemeanors I had to do a little bit of time on because the bond was too high cash. So, I talked to a lot of people and everything, and I've been to prison 2 times, and I've never, ever seen them kick somebody out the back door at Kilby. It don't happen. That is a lie, and for people who haven't been, if you ever do go, hopefully not, don't believe the people in the county jail, because that's how it goes. When you're in the county jail and you get sentenced to prison, if you ain't ever been, you're going to start talking to people who's been to prison to try to find out what it's like and what you got to do. I mean, that's just common sense. I mean, I wasn't scared going to prison at all. I was more anxious of a new environment because I haven't been before. My second time, was a lot easier going because I knew what to expect by that point. You know, it wasn't that big of a deal. But yeah, they're gonna tell you, I mean, because I can't tell you how many times people told me this, and I heard them tell other people this. They're gonna tell you, oh man, you only got a 2-year sentence, you only got a 3-year sentence. What? Oh, it's a little bitty non-violent felony. Man, you're gonna get in there, get processed, and go home. That don't happen. Never. I've never seen it happen, and I've seen people who only had to serve 3 months at Kilby. Guess what? Guess how much time they served? 3 months at Kilby. They served 6 months at Kilby. Whatever. They're not kicking people out the back door like that. That's just a lie. I don't know why they think that, where they heard that from. Maybe they seen people get kicked out the back door, but I hate to break it to them. The reason they kicked them out the back door is because they were EOS and they couldn't hold them no more. That's the only thing I can come up with why they did it. They don't kick you out because, oh, you only stole from here? Oh man, Class C felony? Go home. No, that ain't happening. But back to the point though here is the way they need to fix it is release the people like me who went down there. Prison doesn't need to be an option. There needs to be something else that goes on with that. Like, it's not, I'm sorry, but you don't send, that's how you make it better. You free up bed space for the violent offenders and the worst ones. Or even, like I went for my first felony, even people like that, but, have been caught for like 8 felonies or something, like 4 or 5, a number of felonies. That's who needs to be down there, not people like me. And they think Alabama refuses to release people. Apparently, they just refuse it. I don't know why. It don't matter, non-violent or what. They did come up with some little programs of like SRP and like little stuff like that that'll get you out early. But see, and they used to give SRP on splits in Alabama. They stopped that. I don't know what it's. Oh yeah, it's I don't know what the S stands for, but it's a re-entry program is what the RP, I can't remember, because I got SRP last time I went to prison, and that was on a straight time though. So, that was on 8 straight. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't know what they're thinking, honestly. Like, you can't send people like that to prison and expect it to be okay. And then you're sending this guy who ain't never been to prison before. What if he gets down there and gets stabbed up by one of these violent people? Now you got a lawsuit on your hands. And then, like, Alabama prisons are so packed. Like, last time I went down there, I'm sure they're still just as crowded. In 2014, when I went, though, they used to class you up to be like, okay, you're going here. They still do that. They still class you up. But they're going to send you wherever a bed's free. Like, say if you get work release status because your crime's not that big or whatever. Now, or what they were doing back then, if they didn't have a bed at a work release or like whatever, you'll go to that max camp, until that bed opens. Sometimes you never leave the max camp, you do your whole time there because the bed never opens. That's how it was back then. I mean, it's insane how crowded it is. And then I don't get the people, just the governor, whatever, just whoever signs on this stuff. I don't get how you think this is a good idea to do. Like, I don't understand it. Build 3 big prisons and just house everybody. You already ain't got no guards. You think guards are just going to come up from nowhere? I mean, what's that going to do about the guard situation? Now you got them way more outmanned than, you would split the guards up, but they're still going to be outmanned by all these inmates inside these 3 big prisons. People are going to die. It's going to be drug heaven. It's going to be contraband just everywhere. Like, it's crazy to me, the thinking here. But you know what? I've always said, though, that if you ain't ever been to prison, like, these people, it's the same way how I feel with rehabs on drugs and stuff. Like, some of these counselors, you know, you go to, I'll listen to a counselor talking if they used to be a drug addict and then went through the program and then came up and was a counselor. But you know, these people that go to school to become counselors, nah, I don't agree with that, because they don't know what it's really like to be addicted. I'm sorry, you can't tell me that I need to stop doing drugs when, you know, you've never been on drugs. Which, I'm not on drugs right now, guys, but I'm just making a point. Yeah, so, you know, I want to talk about, I mean, and Mississippi's going down a bad path right now with people escaping and just the deaths. Like, they say, and then that's the other thing, what are the Mississippi leaders thinking, putting these laws into place? Like, you got casinos in Mississippi, you got to be bringing in money from somewhere, so pay them more. People would want to get into that line of work if they were paid more. I wouldn't go do it for less than $25,000 a year. That's just not a lot of money. I would never do it. I wouldn't think about it. Would not entertain the idea. So I don't know. It's just, I was reading this article earlier and it kind of just blew me away, for real. Just everything I read about it. And I mean, you know, I go through Alabama prison news from time to time and the stuff. Oh, we don't know how to fix it. People are dying. It's y'all. That's it. Y'all are doing it. Like, y'all are the ones. I mean, get it together. Think straight. Release the non-violent people, especially the people who it's their first time, like first felony, first time being in, whatever. Let them out. That's another thing. Parole in prison. Man, I've seen them deny people parole for non-violent offenders who didn't get in trouble in prison. So why are they having to stay in prison too? Why aren't you releasing these people? I mean, it's not that hard. It's common sense to me. But maybe you guys can tell me if I'm missing something here or what. I mean, I don't know. I mean, am I the dumb one and they're smart, or what? Am I not thinking clearly? Because I don't get it. Like, I'll never understand it. I mean, then that's why you don't commit a crime in Mississippi, in the South, period. But I would say Mississippi and Alabama mainly, and I hear Florida's kind of crazy too, for real. But you don't commit a crime down here because they don't care. It's crazy that everything that's going on with just the prison news today, the world. I mean, man, I'm glad I won't never go back. I refuse to, because of this stuff right here. Like, they can't get it together. They think they know it all, and I mean, it's just, but yeah, man, so there's a big gang war going on in Mississippi right now. In case y'all didn't know, y'all could look it up on the news, apparently. And I mean, I don't know what to tell. Apparently, too, the gangs have been at war for a very long time. This ain't the first time that gang violence has broken out. And you know, stuff like that does happen in Alabama, but not to the extent it's happening over there. Like, for real. Like, I'm sure I'm just saying, you know, that I've seen or really heard about in recent years. Like, yeah, I'm definitely sure it's happened plenty of times like that in Alabama. Now, don't get me wrong, like, these prisons aren't sweet, aren't nice. They're none of the above. They're rough too. And I could just imagine over there though, like, I mean, could you imagine that being a first time, like, I don't know, just going into prison and just, you know, like, say somebody just got there right before Christmas for their first time. Next thing you know, 5 people are dead, like, you know, in the matter of 2 weeks that you're there. You're just like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Well, all I can say is, I don't know. You better learn to fight, get a knife, do something. No, I'm just kidding. I mean, I don't know. Something's really got to be done about it, though. And, the people, I don't know, maybe prison advocates or whatever, people who go to bat for these prisoners, but something's got to be done, because their thing's not going to work, and there's not a single idea that I've seen put into place that would even somewhat work. And these people are like, oh, we know what we're going to do. we're gonna do this, and they lay out this plan, and it's just like, crickets. That's it, right there. That's all it is. I mean, you just froze. I mean, what? And they're over there cheering, high-fiving and stuff, thinking it's a great idea, thinking, man, we're gonna make it. This is it. Build 3 big prisons and throw them all in there together. Throw all the enemies in there together. Throw everybody. Let them, hey, while we're at it though, that's probably the plan. Have them kill each other off. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Would not. But yeah, I just wanted to just see what y'all think about it here, about Alabama prison, or whatever prison systems you've been in, because it ain't no joke, man. Like, it ain't no joke. Some people in there just don't care, and they will kill you over any. You owe them a honey bun, dead. I mean, you know, like that, as quick as that. That's how they think. It's crazy to me, and I guess though, maybe if you do a long time, your mind frame changes, and I haven't had to do that long a time to make my mind change like that. But as of right now, I could never see my mind killing somebody over something small. But that is also why I don't lend nothing out when I am in prison or jails, unless I really know you and I know it's not going. Because, you know, like, why would I, you come up to me, ask me for a soup, a honey bun, or anything, why would I give it to you? Well, first of all, I can really, most of the time, read somebody by looking at them and tell what type of person they are. Why would I give you something to where there's a high chance you're not, now you could pay me back now, like you could, but there's a high chance you might not either, and it puts me in the position to where I either got to do something, or I got to stop lending store out, because everybody's going to see it and they're all going to, you know, do the same thing, and then I'm just stuck. So why would you put yourself in a position to where you got to crash out, to where you might not make it home to your family? Because that's all it's about for me when I was in there, is making it home to my family, thinking about going to the movies, bowling, whatever, you know, stuff. I ain't even been bowling in a long time either. The reason I say that is because it seems like when you're in prison or jail, you think about everything you wish you could be doing, like everything you take for granted. When you get out, guess what? You do absolutely none of it. I mean, you might do a little bit of it, but you really don't just sit there and go like, oh yeah, you know. There's been a lot of times where I went to jail, got out, and I swear, it's like, man, as soon as you get out, it's like, everything I just went through just left my brain. I was back out acting crazy again. Like, really? Well, that makes zero sense. So yeah, man, I just wanted to tell y'all about the Mississippi and the Alabama prisons and stuff, and yeah, just letting y'all know though, if y'all want to leave a comment, and yeah, let me know what's going on, guys. I'm gonna start posting more videos more, man. I just been trying to get over this holiday stuff. All right.